of all, when Gangsta Lou was blood, right?
Yeah,
Right?
Hmm.
When Gangsta Lou was on him, he went and got True Life.
that's true.
And then when True Life found out the real, and then Jojo Capone and all, because Jojo Capone was
Hmm.
with them, but like True
I
Life,
knew
he
that
got
guy.
family in New York and stuff. Like, yo, nah, man, you have a responsibility. You have a responsibility. You can't. He not gonna tell. Is his son banging? No,
Right.
Nah,
Probably in a private school in New Jersey,
right.
most
I think he's
likely.
in college. I think he went off to college, if
Didn't
I'm
he
not
have to be
mistaken.
Hmm.
together
I mean, do
collectively?
what you want to do. You can do what you want to do. You don't have to agree with Hocus. Um,
Hmm.
Right.
and,
He
and a
did.
lot of people are saying like he might be doing this to get out of the his charge or whatever. But even if he was, his message isn't wrong. His
He's not
message
wrong.
Not at
still isn't
all.
wrong because
Not
that
at
first of
all.
all, that's not New York anyway. That was never New
Yeah.
York anyway. It became New York.
Right.
People
My thing
wasn't
is,
Right.
jacking that in the 90s.
no, that's a fact.
No.
A
No.
lot of people
First, the
wasn't
Lokes was
jacking
here.
it.
The Lokes was here. The Lokes was here established before the
Yeah, but
Bloods,
people wasn't
and
jacking that neither
no, it
because we
really
always thought
didn't
it was some
blow up.
West Coast
And
stuff. We thought it
right,
was some
right.
West Coast
But
stuff.
that's how they were representing dudes will become join a West Coast gang out here and start wearing Dickies and talking
Yeah, yeah,
different and acting
yeah.
different and
Facts.
start moving like they went out to Bumpton or Compton, and now you switching it up and you a total different person now because you in a gang. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I don't disrespect it, but I don't necessarily respect it either. Like,
Right,
I
right,
respect
right.
people as individuals, like for whatever. I know some real bloods that's whatever, but what I'm
Hmm.
saying, RIP to
Same
my man
here.
Sick Blood and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
I don't knock it, you know what I mean? I know a lot of dudes that I'm cool with that's with it, but I'm not supporting how
But
dudes is
from
moving, like in general. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah, no,
saying?
no,
from
definitely,
from the
definitely.
first generation, from the Shockwells, the SIs, the Mandu Warriors, the Bad Vibes, from what those brothers stood for initially is not what that is now. And that's where the disconnect is, and that's where the issue lies, because
Right, right,
they were in prison, they were in jail, and they were in prison fighting oppression, whether it was allegedly from the Latin Kings due to some type of prejudice or racism, or whether it was against the police, which were the COs. So they had to band together or whatever. They had to band together and create something to, you know, to form some type of camaraderie and solidarity, right?
Hmm.
Nobody expected for it to go outside of the prison walls and become what it became. You know what I'm
I want
saying?
to say
Because
something when
because
you're
in the
done making
90s,
your point.
right? Because
Hmm.
because in the 90s when we were running around being Zulu, we always thought it was corny for you to like, yo, what time is it? And somebody look down at their watch to give you the time, and when they
Yeah.
look up, you cutting them in
It,
the
it,
face. Or
it's a sucker move. Yeah.
you can't wear red
Right.
on Valentine's Day or Freshman Friday in high school. Whoever wears
Hmm.
red is getting its initiation time. I'm sure
Right.
that's not what the first generation intended. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And I'm sure they not proud of none of that and none of those
Right.
moves.
So that's
You
why
know what I
they're
mean?
clapping back at him because he's the most influential
Right.
right now
Right.
in New
Right.
York City, on the East Coast, basically. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So he has a
He's basically the face of
responsibility.
it. He's
Right.
the face of it
Yeah.
here in New
And
York.
he has a
You know what I'm saying?
responsibility. Whether he agrees with it or not, whether he knows it or not, and I'm sure he knows it because he always makes it a point to say he's lit
right,
at
right.
almost 50 years old. I'm lit, I'm outside, I'm this. So show them something different. If they don't got to drop their
100%.
flag, show them something while they can still
That's
be a
true.
part of it. but if
That's what.
but if the thing is but if it's negative, if the foundation of it is not positive, you need to drop it. If
You
the
well,
foundation isn't positive.
right. So you saying that, right? And the first thing that comes to my mind is he very well could be doing positive things. Jim Jones could be doing striving to teach brothers like, yo, you could get the bag doing it this way. Come
Right.
into hip hop,
Mm,
come into rap. I'm sure that's all valid. What he's saying is probably true. But what his music represents is something totally different. I agree with
right.
you 100% on that. I just want to know when he talks about doing positive things, you got to show and prove that. Like, tell me what you really doing to influence the homies to move in a different direction outside of just rapping. And I wanted to, you had said something about Shaquell and the elder, the founding members of
Mandu
UBN.
Warrior. Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say Mac because they say Mac is a rat and I don't even think they honor OG Mac, but it's not my
That's
situation,
not your
right? But
politic, right?
it's not my politics, right? But what I want to say is, right, when them brothers talk about we started because we were oppressed by the Latin kings, that could very well be valid. I'm sure that was what was going on. But my thing was, if y'all is why y'all had to be blood and start that, right? Because a lot of them brothers was 5% influenced or directly a
Hmm.
part of the 5% nation of gods and earths. So number one, if the so-called Latino brothers or the Latin kings and the Nietas was oppressing brothers, right? They already had the 5%ers already had mad Puerto Ricans in it inside the jail
Hmm.
system, prison
Hmm.
system. That was their way to like they could have had an all-out war, and the 5%ers could have handled their business against the brothers that was oppressing them,
But they
the
have
Latin
flip
Kings. Why
floppers
they
too, though. They have
right?
flip
But
floppers in
you
because
know, I just
the
felt like there
brother
was no purpose for it. That's what I'm
they
trying to say. I'm
right.
gonna be real.
I agree. But there were Latin kings flipping and joining blood, and there were,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, there were five percenters
Mm,
joining blood. You know what I'm
right.
saying? It was like
Magoo was
yeah,
a Latin King, and then wound up
right, and
becoming, I guess,
right,
he's the
right, and there's a
the
lot
head
of
of the
five percenters.
UBN.
There's a lot of five percenters that flipped to becoming blood too.
Right. I remember they was doing
I
the
don't know.
bulletproof thing.
I wasn't in prison, so I don't know, and I can't
Right.
speak for that because I wasn't there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I will say, like, yo, with Jim Jones, it's like, all right, you could be doing positive things, but then when you get in these interviews, are you a character? When you telling people to SMD and you tweeting this SMD and all of this stuff, like real men, we don't speak like that. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
If we got something to say, we're gonna say it directly to you. And if something needs to be handled, if it has to go beyond the conversation, then that's what it's gonna go beyond. We're not hiding behind no crew. We're not hiding behind what you are, because at the end of the day, before you were that, you were yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like I'm Zulu Union, whatever, but I could stand by myself too.
Let me ask
You
you
know
a
what I'm saying?
question.
I don't need 100 people behind me. You know
That's
what
a
I'm
fact.
saying?
Let me like I agree. And it's negative and a change needs to happen. The thing I really don't like, especially me being Zulu, I don't really like someone telling me to drop my flag, yo. I'd rather the Jim Jones route of at least trying to change it, or even if he's not, then I'm supposed to drop my flag. Like, would someone come and tell me, yo, Bam is wilding. Let's
Well,
start your flag campaign, yo.
well,
Do that
all
shit,
right.
son. That's kind of
In
crazy.
Hocus's defense, right, with the whole drop your flag thing, because these Ricos are coming, right,
Yeah, I
and
agree.
you're tied to people. Listen, you're tied to people you don't even know.
Right,
Like you
right,
could get wrapped up in it for something somebody did that you never even met. You
right,
never
right.
met the person. You know what I'm saying? So like then it's like, yo, I gotta disassociate myself with this before I get caught up in something that has nothing to do with me. You know what I'm
Right, right.
saying?
Hmm.
But
So if they're like, yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
right,
That's like
yeah, but still,
good enough reason to speak to the feds. You know what I'm saying? What's the big enough reason for me to go tell the police? Well, I be watching Takashi 6ix9ine clips, and his reason for ratting is because son was fucking his girl. Would you do that? Would you do that? Da, da, da. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that. The whole thing is crazy.
that's well, I heard what yo, he's funny, but I heard his logic behind it, and I kind of don't disagree with it, but at the same time, who didn't know he was gonna tell? Even if they
Right,
wasn't
Hmm.
smashing his girl, you could see by the
Hmm.
antics and
right,
everything
right.
that he's not. He was gonna tell if anything. I said it before it even happened. I said, "Yo, if something happened, he telling." You could just tell.
But what I'm
You
saying
can
is,
just tell.
it was a justifiable reason in his mind. So whatever. The same way, like the kingpin, he'll give up like whatever subordinates kind of to keep the whatever justifiable reason. I don't like the. I agree with Hocus and I agree with turning a negative to a positive. But the whole drop your flag when that whole thing, I was like, that's alarming to me. Yeah, you're gonna tell people to
I,
drop their flag. It's kind of crazy.
I
So I'm
mean,
just
I mean, look at all the damage
no, I
that
know,
they've
I know. That's what I'm
caused.
saying.
Look at look at all the damage that stuff is generational too.
That's why I'd
It's
rather the Jim
generational.
Jones way. You still rep the shit and try and change it, right? Because
Right?
for them
What
to
though? All
change it,
right, because you could have yeah, but then you can have like a section. Say you're in the same set and you got about five dudes doing one thing, and then these other five dudes are doing the complete opposite, and the feds know that you're all one.
yeah.
They're not gonna say, "Oh, well, these
No,
guys have
no,
nine
no.
to
You're not
fives,
right.
and these guys have
You're
non for
right.
profits,
Right.
and these guys are
Yeah, you
straight
all going
criminals."
down.
The
You know what I'm
criminal
saying?
element is what makes it Rico, and what the criminal
Right,
element.
exactly.
That's
So
why they
why
need.
would you want to be a part of it?
But
But
what?
that's why we separated from Bam because you don't want to be,
Right,
you
right, right.
don't want
And
to,
we
you
didn't
know what I'm
stop
saying? You don't
Rico.
want to be a part
You
of
don't want to
that.
be
You don't want to be
associated
looked at as
with
yeah.
heinous
So
Right, but
acts.
we didn't
yeah,
stop
You know what I mean?
school and
That
start
was the
getting
yeah.
logic.
Like
Yeah.
yo, if dude is like I said earlier, like yo, like in the '90s, man. I'm like yo, dude got on red. Why he got to get cut? You ask somebody, a random stranger for the time. Oh, women were getting cut.
right, right.
Right.
Women.
No, I
Like
Right.
who
know.
does that?
Yeah.
That
Michael,
wasn't
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
ill. That wasn't never cool, yo. It was
Yeah.
never cool. It was
When they
never
talk about
dope.
when they talk about brotherly love overriding oppressive destruction, and then you just see them oppressing each other, and
Yeah.
like, you know what I'm
Oppressing the
saying? I don't,
community.
no,
the
that's true.
community, right?
Very
And
true.
you know, it kills me to see
Have people
brothers
scared to
that's
coming outside. You had
right.
people, you had the elders scared. At least when like if you look at the history on the West Coast, it started off as something good and then, eventually
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because it's the criminal element.
most of these gangs was like fighting against racism. You look at the vice lord, the
Right.
traveling vice
Right.
lords, because they're older than the GDs. They
Mm-hmm.
they they were out before the
Right.
GDs. They was fighting those
And
white
they,
gangs, and when the white gangs left, now you have the other black gang fighting the black gang. Same thing with the
mm-hmm.
businessmen that
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
what's this
Mm-hmm.
guy? Barry
Right,
White,
right.
right? The
Right.
Slausons.
Mm.
Barry White was a
Yeah.
part of them. They turned
Right. Right.
blood, but
Right.
originally when they were the neighborhood gang, they were fighting the white gangs.
But
Compton was
Mm-hmm.
white too
the
at a
shit,
time.
Right.
they should get
You know what I'm
back to
Right.
shit.
saying?
Same thing here in the East. The Black Spades
Right,
was
right.
fighting.
Yep, the Black
You know what
Spade
I'm
was fighting
saying?
the
They was
javelins
fighting
and all of that stuff,
right,
and then
They should
those
all the
get back
white
gangs.
to
gangs, the
that.
Fordham Baldies, and all
Yep.
those different
And then white
groups.
flight happened, and then they
Right.
turn on each other. Same thing when you look at these countries. Haiti got their independence from the French. Then look what happened.
Th- That's why
You know
I'm
what I'm
not.
saying?
But that's why I'm not opposed to gang shit at all, yo. I like people coming together for a common cause, yo. And you know what I'm saying? That's the.
But what's the common cause, though?
Right.
Is the
But
The
hold
common
common
on.
cause
cause can't
selling
be
drugs?
destruction.
Is it
Right,
right? Is
right,
the
right.
Right.
common
But
cause selling drugs? Is the common cause just banging on somebody because
so
they wear a different color than you? Is that the
right,
common
yeah. So
cause?
the thing is, instead of dropping the flag, why not really reel all that in and switch it up? They're the most out there, like you said. Jim Jones is popular. He's basically the face. That's the most popular thing, especially on the East Coast for the young kids today, other than like the folk nation. And even then, that's like a distant second. Blood is the most popular thing. Being Jet is what them little kids
Well,
aspire
over here now. Yeah, yeah,
on
yeah.
East Coast. So why not
I
make it
see
something?
videos and it's crazy.
Right, right, right. But why not make it like you're never like you like not to be funny and God willing maybe, but you're not gonna make a real dent. You're gonna get a couple of people and then he's gonna be good because he's not banging, but you're not really he's making more of an impact of this type of shit right here. Yo, did you see Jim Jones and da da da? He's not gonna make a real dent the real dent needs to be you pull it together. We got the attention. Now let's make it something positive. That's why, like, I agree with Jim Jones. I don't see why you had to drop your flag to kind of do that, yo. Like, I don't know, but I'm watching
Nah,
this.
I
because
think we understand that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, but
yeah,
because
at
Hocus
a certain
but Hocus was really in the field.
he was.
He
So
right,
wasn't.
right,
he
right,
should
right,
get
right.
But
There
the
was a
his ass.
difference between Jimmy.
the other person wasn't though. Like they called him a fashion blood. They calling him
But
a fashion blood. They saying you,
why
the
not
people
get with him and
behind
use
you
it?
was real.
So
The people
why not
behind
use
you
it?
was real.
So why not
Right.
use Jim Jones, yo? The same way he was using him on the negative when he had
Because did you
Mosley.
see when they asked him? Did you see when they asked him? He scoffed at it.
Right, right, right. So you switch that up. You can't be blood. You got to rep blood this way. Simple, simple. So Mel Matrix came home, had him under the wing. Soon as he came out, soon as he came home, yo, you can't do this. Switch that up. No one really wants to do
I
that
thought he
because
dropped his flag.
nah,
Yeah, that's what he said, right?
this is the thing.
Then
No
he
one
wrote a letter and said he dropped his flag.
Hmm.
He said he
maybe.
denounced it. So I don't. I mean, but
I
no,
don't
it's
know.
no maybe. That's what had. That's what. I mean,
But
that's what
Yeah, yeah,
that,
was
yeah. I mean, that's
said.
what was
That's what was
done.
put out there. That's what was
that
put
Whether
yeah,
that
out
that's
was
there.
something to
real,
say.
true intentions, or
Yeah,
I don't
That
know.
was
exactly.
put
You know,
out
I
there.
don't think
So
the only one I think really matters that's dropping the flag is Hocus for fifth. No one of them really wants to give up that power like that, yo. Like I don't really see someone saying, you know what, I don't want to control the house and none of them is doing that,
yeah,
yo.
but
They
jail in the streets is two different things,
Right,
though.
right, right. But
You know
in
what I'm
the
saying?
streets,
Like
they
it's
like the popularity just as much as in jail, yo. Them young kids love being blood and running around, and it's because that stigma of negativity is there. You gotta. It's not gonna happen overnight. You gotta make it a trending, flowing thing to change. Where
well, you know what the youth need to hear. The youth need to realize that they are not going to be Jim Jones. They are not going to live. You could put the same leather he has on. You could buy the same clothes he has on. You could buy the fake designer to make it look like his real stuff, and you buy the fake version. You could wear the belts that he wore. You could dress like all of them dudes from Dipset and Skull
you
Gang and
know,
all of that, but you're not them. You're
and
not
the
them.
end is death or jail.
they know
One or
that
the other.
You don't like being around women, but why you want to die so young? Why do you want to be in jail so young? You don't want to be around like me personally. This is me. I like to dress. I love my wife. I love my kids.
right,
I
right, right.
like being free. I like being able to open my refrigerator whenever I want to and
Eat
get
what you want
whatever
to
I
eat.
want out of it, eat what I want to eat. I can use the bathroom without asking. I don't
Right,
gotta
Hmm.
share a bathroom. I don't gotta share a toilet. Somebody does
right.
if I want to close the door while I'm using the restroom, I can do that. I don't have to put a sheet up and close it, you know what I'm saying, and wrap it around me or whatever. I don't have bunk beds. Like my
Them
daughters have
Hmm.
bunk beds. I don't have a bunk bed. You know what I
them
mean?
young kids
Like,
want to see someone that looks like them getting money. It could be positive or
but
negative.
Yo,
there's people
Or
doing
let me
positive things, getting money too.
yeah, but let me finish. But what I'm there's mad young kids. The same way, like you watch now, you don't really see that many young kids smoking cigarettes. It's kind of vaping. They kind of moved that out where
mhm.
like two or three generations, it's not really a popular thing amongst young kids to be smoking cigarettes now. You kind of need to
That's
Yeah. I don't
true.
see a lot
you
of bogeys now. Yeah.
right, but that
Right,
faded
I
out. It
agree.
wasn't a big campaign of yeah. It just kind of that's kind of what needs to
It
happen.
took it. Yeah.
They need to see young kids that look like them that's cool and respectable. Because here's the thing them young kids can go in jail and bully someone for the shit that you talking about, right? They can do that shit in jail. And they don't have to go to work and bust their ass. They just got to blood up and bully the nigga. Then they can run the house and the phone and the food and your food. And they love that shit. That shit is crazy. So
Yo,
they need
you know what's weird? You know what's weird too? I know a lot of dudes that have been to jail as blood, right? Went to jail blood, right? And because of the politics in the New York State prison system, dudes done. One of the brothers that I ain't gonna say his name that me and Nikki Sins is cool with, some from Amityville. He allegedly caught a body, right? Goes up, he was stoned. Goes up and based on what he sees up north, right? Brothers fighting each other, the apes and the
right.
hats at war, right? Bloods at war with one another. The Lokes and the Bloods ain't at war, but the Bloods is at war with other Bloods. When you see that, dudes don't want to be a part of that no more. Like, so
Yeah,
the brother distanced himself, and shout out to him for empowering himself and making that decision and wanting to better himself because he's already jammed up with a body. Like the last thing you want to do is continue and continue down that destructive path, and then you never come home. He wants to come home to his family, and I wanted to. There's a lot of brothers that I know that go up to jail and want to leave the gangs. And then there's the younger brothers that go to jail and become gang and never get out. It's
and never get
crazy.
out.
Like it never
It's
get
that.
out because they keep
Yeah.
adding charges and they just
Yeah,
in a stuck in a cycle where they can't get freedom based on their actions. You know what I'm
and,
saying? So what are we leading our people to, man? Yo, when I became Zulu, dudes was telling me, yo, if you don't finish high school, get
exactly,
ready. We on
exactly.
if you don't finish, they used to
Hmm.
tell me in red, if y'all don't because we like, yo, we're gonna drop out. Fuck it. They like, yo, y'all drop out. You already know violation's gonna be crazy. And they'll tell us
Right.
we're gonna drop you. I mean, that was cool. It actually kept me in school. I used to
Exactly.
tell the younger Zulus under me the same thing. Like, nah, you ain't dropping out. Like, you out of here. Kick yourself out because I'll drop you. You know what I'm saying?
And
You
that's what
drop high school, I'll drop you from Zulu. And not that that's a grand thing or whatever, but like, you gotta influence brothers the right way. If you have the influence and the power to guide brothers, why guide them towards destruction? You know what I'm
destruction.
saying? Like, come on, man, shit's crazy. Like,
We need to grow
like
up.
we
We
have
need to talk.
families. Yeah, y'all have boys, right? I don't have. I have two daughters that probably will never really have to see the streets. Alhamdulillah, that they never probably gonna have to experience the streets. But y'all got boys that eventually they're gonna be outside. I mean, your son,
Yeah, I
he's
talk
a
to them
man.
all
He's
the
a
time. My
man,
son.
young man already. I know that y'all brothers is leading them brothers to keep them away from the streets. What type of men would encourage their children or youth
Men
to
that
do
ain't
bad
around,
things?
men that's not around,
Men that ain't real
and
men.
they
You ain't a
be and
real
they being
man.
raised, and these young men are being raised by their mothers, so
By
their
their mothers.
their
Who they
reaction to things is that of a female, is that of
Mhm.
we spoke about this before, L,
Yes,
off
we
the
did. Yeah,
on the phone,
yeah.
like how these young so-called Latino and so-called black boys,
They're
they're being
emotional.
raised, yeah, they're emotional because of their mother. You know what I'm saying? So when somebody says something to them, their reaction is a woman is quick to use her hands before her logic first. A lot of the times, like a lot of our women, you know what I'm saying? Because they didn't have fathers or they saw how their mother acted. So then they're just projecting that same thing on their sons and you can't
Right.
say nothing. You know what I'm saying? So now they can't take constructive criticism. They can't take any kind of criticism. It's like
Hmm.
who you talking to? You know what I'm saying? And they feel like they
Hmm.
gotta walk with the chip on their shoulder, the edge, and they mother don't let nobody talk to you, blah 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 blah. And then they're looking for the
Hmm.
father figure, so then they join the gang because they look for the father figure or the brother, the so-called brotherhood. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And then they end up raising each other.
Yeah,
Cause
and
they
then
ain't
end
Yeah,
up.
what they big homie gonna tell them. What they big homie?
yeah.
They big homie probably like 2, 3 years older than them.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
You know
They
what
need
I'm
to
right,
stop.
saying?
They need to be better
right.
examples. Jim Jones, do better. Be better. Who else
Yeah,
is
he
blowing
Yeah,
up?
do. And,
yeah,
and
for
the
real.
whole SMD thing and
Yeah,
like how he carries himself is
Yeah.
crazy. And then
mhm.
you telling a dude that did like 20, 30 years to SMD and he calling you out for all call outs is mandatory, as they say. And
Mm.
you talking about some SMD. It's like he called you out for the
Yeah,
joint. Like y'all gotta meet up and do
yeah.
something about that
Settle that.
behind closed door, whether
That's
it be a
their
conversation
culture.
or yeah,
Right,
or do the 31 or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
right.
But you're not gonna do that. You
It's
lifting
crazy.
all these
Nah,
weights, you gonna shoot the
I doubt it.
31. You're gonna
Crazy.
shoot the
Right,
31
right,
with him. And that man probably got like 10 years his elder. He's probably
right.
10 years his elder, if not five or more, his elder and done been
Yeah,
through a lot. You know what I'm saying?
right.
And not to say that Jim Jones needs hands put on him, but I mean, if you tell somebody that like that's a low inviting a man. First of all, I've said this before. It's gay to me. You know what I mean? To invite somebody to your private area, whether it's figurative language, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. Like
Yeah,
Well, it
that's
comes
like
from prison. They
nah.
were escaped from prison. They
Well,
say they
yeah,
were
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they're in prison making people look
yeah.
But
this,
I
that.
ain't calling nobody to
but
do that.
he ain't never been to prison though. So why are you
And
saying it? How you picking up lingo from a place you never been?
Right, right,
because they
right,
know
right,
that's the
right.
most.
You
I,
know what I'm saying? You said he sagged his pants at 50 years old. You ain't that comes from prison too. You ain't never been to
yo,
prison. Why you still sagging your pants?
I might have said that like 25, 30 years ago out of ignorance, right? But in 2025, you say somebody to do that, they might go and do it. That's the way boys is on
Yeah,
it right now. Like,
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
watch what you beg
I
for or
got
Now
ask for, cause dude,
I
the
seen
way
a
the dudes
wild
is moving
video.
now,
I seen a wild video on YouTube, not on YouTube, on Instagram recently, man. Some kid, some black kid, dude was recording him. Another kid, he was like, "Yeah, I told you." Actually was popping because it was like you look good or whatever. And then dude was like, "What?" He was like, "Yo, say something." He said, "I'll back this pole out on you." So basically, I'm dead
oh,
serious. Yeah, he was, "I'll back the pole out on you, bro." Because dude had a knife. The young kid had a knife. He was like, "Yo, man, I ain't gonna do nothing with this pole I got." And he was basically trying to like seduce him.
yo, yeah,
Like, and I'm just
yeah,
like, yo, this is crazy. I'm like, yo, we got
oh,
the the
oh,
the chomo thugs, like, you
oh,
know what
you
I'm
tell me
saying? It's
yeah,
been
yeah,
wow,
yeah,
man.
he
But
has
like,
it.
yeah, like
He
that
do
whole
trust.
that whole SMD thing, that ain't cool, man. That ain't cool.
yeah.
Especially like I said, he need to grow up.
That is true.
Embracing, like, I don't even think it's a joke to call him the oldest YN, and he likes stuff
Hmm.
like that. He's embracing it. I wouldn't even call him that, man. That's not even cool, man. For real. He need to handle that. And he got to square his business up with the OG too.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
a
He
fact.
definitely got square. He got squared that
Right.
away with the OG.
Since all this business is out in the public too, I want to hear the outcome of that in the public as well. You know what I'm
Yeah, the
saying?
OG
For real.
OG might put you on your pockets. You lifting all them weights and you keep skipping leg day. You might not be able to withstand, you know what I'm saying, 5 pounds of pressure to the face.
That's a
You know what I'm
fact.
saying?
I'm
You
gonna
might
be
not be
real.
able
Like
to.
in the 90s plus episodes we have on Spears, I think we bombed away on Jimmy more than we
Yeah, I
bombed
just
on
said that.
anybody
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
for
just
a
said that.
fact. Like, and you know
I
what I'm
mean,
saying?
yo, because he be saying he
Well
says
deserved though
some
for him. Well deserved.
yeah, he says a
Like
lot of
honestly,
crazy stuff.
yo,
And I
he
really don't like
does.
I really like man.
It don't be sitting well with me. Every time I hear bro
Yeah,
talk, like
nah,
I'll be
don't.
like,
Yeah,
yo,
he's very
he,
ignorant, man. He's very ignorant.
yeah, yeah, man.
Very ignorant
It's
man, yo.
but do better, and show better. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we want
Yeah.
from you, man. You
And this
know?
could be all something to stay in the algorithm, but I don't like certain things. I don't think whether you getting money or not. And that's another thing. People do things and say things because the bag. So they'll sacrifice integrity, morals, values, principles for money.
Hmm.
For me, I don't need it that bad.
Yeah,
I'm good. Like I don't need the money that bad, man. Like to come out of character and say certain things or do certain things to just to get some money, man. That's
yeah.
crazy.
I
That's
mean, you
crazy
got
because you ain't gonna
principles.
die with the money. You ain't gonna die with the money. And I got kids that's looking up to me, man. Got people that that's looking at my every move, man. My if I say the word stupid, my sons are correcting me.
Mm,
Don't say that, Daddy. Don't say that. That's not nice for you to say that.
that's what's up.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
He's soon to be six. My son will be six next week, inshallah, and then the other
inshallah.
one will be five next month, inshallah. So I can't be. And then I got two daughters. I can't. I gotta watch what I say and watch what I do, and I definitely gotta
Right,
watch what I do. They correcting me
right.
off of what I say. So imagine what I do.
Mm,
You know what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying?
Right, right,
And this
right, right,
dude is a he has so much popularity. The world is watching him. Not just New York
yeah,
City, not just the East Coast. The world is watching him, and look at how he behaves because
right,
he's getting money, because he's lit,
right,
because he's vamp life out all night. You 50, bro. He always looked
right.
tired too. He
Not
always
not
looked
that I
tired.
yeah, right,
That's
yeah,
a
he
fact.
do. Not that I wish a
You vamping and
downfall
you
on him,
always look
but I
tired.
think yeah, he needs to be humbled, some way, somehow. And I'm not wishing bad upon him. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said it before, like certain aspects I find him entertaining. Like I get a chuckle here and there from him. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's a bad dude, but he just be moving crazy, man. But yeah, like I said, Jim Jones, do better, show better, man. For real. You know what I
No
mean? Thank
doubt.
you for tuning in to Spears and Mics, man. Salute. Peace.
Peace.